Hello and welcome into our final regular season edition of High School Hoops, the show the players watch. I'm Alex Eisman.
And I'm Deshaun Johnson. And you said it, Alex, we are right around the corner from the playoffs. But teams across the area are already playing for some hardware.
That's right. The Flint Metro League Championships went down tonight at Mott Community College. And we'll start on the girls' side. Goodrich taking on Linden. And the Martians made their presence felt early. Kayla Hairston in particular causing plenty of problems. A 2 and a 3 for the senior here. Baylor Lowinger keeps them rolling off the feed from Hairston. Then later on the counterattack, it's Lowinger again driving in for the layup. Linden needing a flurry fast. Kennedy Brooks dribble drive, stops, shoots, and gets the friendly bounce on the rim. A good-looking mid-range, but Goodrich has their foot firmly on the gas. Hairston tries a corner triple and cashes it. Madeline Summers answers it, though, for Linden. That shot rattles home. But for the most part, the Martian defense was suffocating. Kaylee Eichhoff forces the steal, 2-on-1 the other way. She goes to Tanner Schramm to pick up an easy pair. Cameron Lowinger tacks on a few more, and they end up running away with this one, 50-19. Goodrich, congratulations to the Martians. They are the Flint Metro League champions.
Our defense drives our offense, and it was really, really good tonight. We've got a lot of people that can guard the ball. We didn't really do a whole lot of trapping that we normally do, just pressuring the ball, and get a couple layups, and that opens up things for a couple threes, and we got a little bit of both of those tonight.
We basically kind of feed off of each other's energy, so if one of us aren't hitting shots, we'll always be there for each other. We'll motivate each other and push each other to hit that next shot. Don't forget about that pass shot. And just having someone constantly there for you, keep pushing and motivating you, it's kind of hard to not play your best and try hard for the team.
On to game 2. It's the Goodrich boys taking on the Kearsley Hornets. Martians led this matchup the entire first half, but Lucas Grew trying to change that with a big jumper there. And now the Martians on the inbound getting into Parker LaPlay. He quickly gets it to his brother Jensen, and the Martians retaining their lead. Back over to Kearsley, King and Rosner. He's looking around, finally, then throwing a hook pass. Grew there to handle it. He takes it in for the score, and these teams neck and neck once again. Following a few free throws, Hornets now holding on to a 2-point lead, but Landon Williams saying not for long as he gets the and one finish. Now, final minute of the third, Kearsley wanting to end the quarter with a lead, and Grew there once again to give them the boost they needed going into the fourth quarter. Final minute of the fourth now, Goodrich down by 3, and when they need it most, Colt Maynard there to tie things up in crunch time. And now the final 30, and the Hornets going right back to Grew. He's been unstoppable this half, and just like clockwork, there he is again to give the Hornets the lead with seconds to go. And now the Martians going for the full court heave. Williams, he gets the shot off and fouled in the final seconds. However, unable to knock down all 3 from the line, the Hornets clear it. And in the final seconds of this one, Kearsley pulling off the upset, defeating Goodrich 75-73.
You know, it's just practice. We work on those shots all the time, and when it came down to it, I was there. I was able to hit it, and if it wasn't for Brad leading us in the first half, taking us off, then I don't think I would have been able to do it without them. But they had the courage in me. They had the belief in me, and I was just able to come out and perform.
It means a lot to us. We haven't won a conference in 60 years, and we've just been talking about buying in and just being good humans and working hard together as a team. And we just want to carry this momentum into our field house and continue this every year.
Over to Durand. The Railroaders hosted Bentley. McCrucko-McFadden with the and one for the Bulldogs. 3 points coming back Durand's way, though. Braden Joslin from distance to spark the home team. Then a kick out to Levi Smith. Finds his spot, pulls, and knocks down the mid-range jumper. Impressive play. Bentley on the offensive. Savion Kidd down low. Step back. Swish. Let him cook. Kidd again. Post feed. Tricky shot, but he makes it, and the and one. How about the big man making some plays? Railroaders looking to respond. Darius Aldrich, baseline jumper, falls, smooth shot. Then Kingston Kilburn adds another pair from mid-range. Durand making a bit of a push. Other end, Jalen Ward, look at the top of the key, and he buries the triple, but it's still going back and forth. Irie Osenasek drops one in off the glass. Before the half, though, Bentley went on a run. How about a 4-point play for Anthony Franklin? You don't see that too often. And then Gavin Neal buries another tray ball, and things looked promising for the visitors. But out of the break, Durand stormed back. They end up completing the comeback on their home court. 57-53 final for the Railroaders. I still can't get over that Kersley game, though.
Yeah.
And we've seen it now a couple times, and still every time just jaw drop.
Absolutely. That was definitely a matchup for a championship game right there. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
You love it, and we're only going to get more of it with the playoffs coming up.
Right.
But don't go anywhere. We still have one more game of highlights to get to. It's an exciting one on the girls' side.
Absolutely. Grand Blanc and Mount Pleasant went to battle on the Bobcats' home court. We'll check in on that and more coming up after the break. Welcome back into high school hoops. Alex, it's time to cover our last matchup of the night.
And it's two strong programs who did battle at Grand Blanc High School. The Bobcat girls hosted Mount Pleasant, and the hosts got off to a good start. Three-pointer thanks to Demaya Hartwick, but the Oilers also dialed in that facet. Ava Petrino, deep tray, converts on it, fireworks to start, and then Mount Pleasant got to work down low. Lizzie Laney, the freshman, turnaround jumper, good, and she was a problem tonight. Oilers keep it pouring. Jordan Egger, corner look, cashes in. Grand Blanc in need of some momentum. They force the steal. Park Liggins picks it up and drives in for the basket with a few hands in her face, and she wasn't done with a little bit of a personal run. Taking the ball up the court, decides to pull, and it's good from three-point land. But then Laney drives baseline, makes it look effortless to get Mount Pleasant a pair, and later she'll get active on the offensive glass. A couple defenders on her, but she lays it up and in. They are not slowing down. Oilers steal the ball away. Bella Caloras dishes to Egger, transition, basket. Mount Pleasant flexed their muscles in this game. They were dominant. Oilers go into hostile territory and bring back an impressive 56-31 victory.
Checking in on some other scores from around the area. We're going to start with the girls' side. Genesee Christian and John Glenn both go on the road and dominate. Soldiers at Oakland, Christian at Bobcats and Novi. Meanwhile, Freeland was unstoppable tonight. 77-24 is the final score there for the Falcons at home against Bridgeport. On the boys' side, Millington clinched their conference championship with a win over Bendel, but the game of the night may have been Alma and Gladwin. All the way to OT, and the Panthers still the win on the road. Speaking of that, Davison, they also picked up a victory in hostile territory. They took down the Dow Chargers.
We had high stakes in tonight's rivalry game between Michigan and Michigan State. First place in the Big Ten on the line in Ann Arbor.
It was also the very first meeting between Dusty May and Tom Izzo, and what a matchup it was. The first half about as tight as it could be as the Wolverines went into halftime with a 4-point lead. But the second half belonging to the Spartans as they shocked everyone inside of the Chrysler Center as they went on to shoot 41% from the three. That's the best they've shot all season. Outscoring the Wolverines in the second half by a total of 17 points to take a 75-62 victory, reclaiming that top spot in the Big Ten. Jace Richardson, he finished with 21 points, and Trey Holloman, he had 18 along with some big threes in the second half, and it was an overall successful night for the Spartans.
Well, if you couldn't tell by the tie choice on each side of the table, both of us are on opposite sides of the rivalry. It's one that I'm gonna have to take on the chin. We've been chattering a little bit throughout the week, you could say.
Yep.
But as the saying goes, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
Absolutely right.
But yeah, it was really impressive. We were talking about this on the digital desk earlier. We didn't really think rebounding would be as big of a factor as it was tonight, and especially on the offensive glass, the Spartans completely dominant.
Yep, we talked about, we didn't talk too much about rebounding being a factor, yet it ended up being the main key of the game. And also, we did talk about three-point percentage and how the Spartans may struggle. Obviously, shocking everyone a little bit tonight. 41%. I don't know if they can keep that going, but they needed it tonight.
Yeah, that was very surprising. What wasn't surprising and has been a theme for Michigan, turnovers, second half collapses, and that reared its head tonight. And MSU took advantage, giving them extra possessions. It worked out. Michigan's going to have to go back to the drawing board now if they want to compete in the Big Ten. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.